patient. So we'll just start off with disc edema. And the important thing is to know what are the basic causes of disc edema before we can start looking at the causes and how to approach and shorten your list of possibilities, like papilledema, papillitis, ischemic optic neuropathy, pseudopapilledema, compressive neuropathies, venous congestion because of CRVO or papillophlebitis, and others which often get misdiagnosed as disc edema or neuroretinitis, which would be of uveitis or infiltrative or other causes, including hypotony. So post-TRAB hypotony is once or twice we've seen because of the massive hypotony that is there and long duration hypotony. Disc can be a little edematous, and you can attribute the loss of vision along with the little macular fluid, submacular fluid as due to papillitis, and you're treating him for that rather than really going to the crux of the problem, which is to increase the intraocular pressure. So how do you approach a patient of disc edema? If there's edema, if you find a patient with swollen discs, you do a bilateral. You need to know whether, first of course, you need to know whether it's definitely disc edema or it's a pseudopapilledema. That the disc appears to be looking edematous, but it actually is not so. There are multiple ways in which you can actually be sure. One is that only really in papillitis that there would be initial papillitis, there's going to be a little blurring of the margins, a little hyperemia, which can be differentiated with time only. So if you suspect the patient has papilledema and there is decreased vision along with that, the way is to either wait for a few days before it gets significant. If you're sure it's because of that, look for the associated problems, afferent pupillary defect, look for the color and compare it with the other eye. But if you're sure it's papillitis, one of the ways to pick up, of course, is fluorescein angiography if you feel that there is a chance that there is disc edema, but you're not able to pick it up. Otherwise, you look at disc edema whether it's bilateral or unilateral. In bilateral, you're looking at systemic or neurological cause, so that workup is required. If the other eye has optic atrophy, then again you think that it's a space occupying lesion possibly, again you need to, or there's a systemic problem which you need to evaluate for. And unilateral, when the other eye is absolutely normal, and normal means that not just in appearance but also in visual functions, which means the visual acuity, the fields, the color, the contrast. These are the important things which need to be evaluated before you say that the other eye is normal. So the other eye could be, if it's normal, then you're only concentrating on the involved eye. It could be hyperemic or it could be pale. So before we just move on, we need to know that papilledema really actually means bilateral disc edema, most likely due to raised intracranial pressure. If there is bilateral disc edema and you think that it probably is not due to ICT, raised ICT, it is better to term it as bilateral disc edema to avoid the confusion that can be there if somebody else sees your prescription or your paper and thinks that you've actually thought that it is due to an IC, SOL or raised intracranial